based on merits. Here with me right now, GOPAC Chairman David Avella and Democratic strategist Robert Patillo. I'm just looking through the details of this as it's being presented, and there's a lot of good stuff in here. David, it kind of seems like common sense, and in some ways I'm sort of surprised that this hasn't already happened. I mean, pretty much every other system in the world is a merit-based system. I mean, I know we want to bring family members, et cetera, here of people that are here, but shouldn't we have something in there that puts the country front and center? Our needs front and center.
Sure. And on a day when the Trump administration and the White House is trying to make a step forward towards solving our immigration problem, Speaker Pelosi has us take a step backward with her comments today about how she's not going to allow a vote on the new NAFTA until immigration or till labor laws are changed in Mexico. Now, if we want Mexico's help on our border problem, we have to show we're going to deliver on a trade deal, which today Speaker Pelosi has said she's not going to allow. And you know, you cover economics very well. You know part of this is an economic issue. We have to get this trade deal in place, and today, unfortunately, we took a step back on that.
And the trade deal is important, and we can get to that later, but I'm most concerned about all of this because this is very interesting to me. I'm going to share with you, Mr. Patillo, what our current makeup of the immigration population is. Listen to this. Merit-based immigration, which is the goal of this, is right now just 12% of immigrants that are coming here are admitted based on employment, based on their skills. 66% are admitted because of family ties. It seems to me, yes, it's all fine and good to bring your family here, but the goal is to change all this so that those ratios are different going forward, so that you're bringing people that can add to our economy here as opposed to, you know, someone who, it's nice, they're your family, and they're not going to be omitted. I think roughly 33% is the goal. So you change that number to 33%, and you make 57% of the immigration population people here because we need them. They have the skills that we need. Can you agree with that?
Oh, well, no, I think it's a fundamental misunderstanding of what the American immigration system needs. So we have to look at the Gang of Eight bill from 2013. That's the framework we need to be looking at for immigration reform, which is desperately needed in the country. We need people to help with farm work. We need people to help in agriculture.
Right, but that would be employment, sir.
Vegetables.
No, Robert,
exactly.
That would be employment. That's the 57% they want.
Trish, with the merit-based immigration, what we're doing, bringing in more competition for doctors, lawyers, engineers, computer scientists in America, those are sectors which we have an overabundance of workers in. We need people to work on the lower tiers of the economy where farmers are having difficulty staffing
First of all,
those
you
positions.
and I aren't disagreeing with each other, but I'll tell you one thing. We've got a shortage of nurses right here in this country. I bet you could find a lot of nurses well-educated in the Philippines that we ought to be bringing here if we had a merit-based system. Guess what? We could, but we don't do that, and that is a mistake. There are plenty of good people in this country that need to be coming here for jobs, and I include farm workers in there, okay? So we're not disputing any of that, but when you're bringing people here just because they're related to someone who lives here now, how do we know that that relation is not going to come here and be a total drain on the system?
Well, that's why we need the complete, comprehensive immigration reform, something that has a guest worker program, something that addresses visas, something that addresses visa oversight, something which secures the borders.
I'm telling you, if you're going to tell me that this doesn't make sense, then it's so beyond the beyond. You guys are just getting way too darn political.
Just look at the 2013 Gang of Eight bill. That is exactly the framework, and it was Mark Meadows and the Freedom Caucus and the radicals in the House who stopped it from going into law. Let's push that through.
This goes further. Gosh, you know, David, every other country around the world has a merit-based system. Why can't we?
We should have one. And to put this crisis that we have at the border in perspective, the number of immigrants that are going to come across the border this year will be larger than the populations of the District of Columbia, Wyoming, and Idaho. I mean, these are huge. It would double the populations in 3 states.
Yeah.
More people are coming into our country, and are we prepared for that? It's questionable. That's why this plan.
Well, we're not. And you know the answer to that. We're not prepared to it. And by the way, I'm not going to do this to you guys right now, but maybe tomorrow we'll roll out the Dianne Feinstein tape from the 1990s where she says we cannot be the welfare system for Mexico. Well, guess what? She was right then. And if she would actually stick to the same talking points, she'd be right now. We cannot be the welfare system for Mexico, as much as we'd love to help everybody, or for Guatemala, or for Honduras, or for any other country. We need to consider what we have here, and we need to augment and continue to make our economy better and stronger, because we have kids, and they're going to have kids. And the future is what matters. Thank you, sir. And just once again, before anybody misinterprets this as me being anti-immigrant, that's the last thing I am.